Coming up on Buyer's Guide, a young Uber driver wants to buy his own car, but which crossover fits his budget and long-term needs?
We also hear from a Polo sedan owner who is debating if a pricey maintenance plan is really worth it.
And later, a Hyundai Tucson driver wonders if an ECU upgrade can cure his gearbox headache.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Guide. Each week we unpack your motoring questions from buying smart to keeping your car running strong.
We're joined in studio by Richard Marshall from Cherry, South Africa, and Dylan Machiva from Mzansi Petrolheads. Welcome. Thanks for joining us, guys. Good to see you back here again.
Good to see you
and
too.
I'm sure you're going to give us some great info today. Okay, we're going to kick off things with a question from Sia Bonga, who's from Soweto. He's 24, he drives an Uber, but wants to own his own SUV. And he's got a budget of around 310,000 Rand. He wants specifically LED headlights, airbags, and solid reliability, and he's eyeing the Mahindra 3XO AX5 Auto. Is this a good choice, or is there better options? Dylan, let's start with you. Mahindra 3XO, it's a pretty looking car.
It's a pretty looking car,
Yeah.
pretty
Good
decent
value.
in terms of what he wants to do, good value. I think it is a solid option. It has everything he wants, decent, and
It's more of a hatchback though than an SUV.
it is, but the ride height compared to what we really got as a hatchback,
Yeah.
it's up there, so
Yeah.
it's good for our roads. On the other hand, you could look at some more bit pricier options like the Corolla Cross, which I mentioned, but
Yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah.
The pricing is a bit high for him there. Yeah.
maybe you can get a used Kia Seltos.
Okay.
It's a more bigger and reliable also, no problems with those ones. But for now, if he's really keen on staying small and efficiency is the key point, then Mahindra is not a bad choice.
Yeah, look, one thing about a Mahindra is in terms of like theft, it should be low. My only concern is backup from Mahindra. That would be,
The
you
dealer
know,
network.
it's a bit like the cars from China. You're not too sure what you're getting into. It is a new product. It looks good and it's spec'd well and priced well, but will it last? He wants at least 5 years. Richard,
Yeah, look, it is actually a bit of a tough one. He's done quite a lot of research and his budget is quite detailed, and it seems he wants new, from what I can gather. The LED headlights and 6 airbags and reliable and fuel efficient and decent power and automatic and got a shopping list. I do actually think the Mahindra is actually quite a decent option. I'd love to put him in something from our stable, but at his budget and new, it's a little bit hard to satisfy that.
Yeah.
If
What
he
about
was
like
willing
a
to go
Tiggo 4
used,
lit?
yeah. Look, you can. You're just not going to get LED headlights, which
I think, sorry to interrupt you there, is a great idea. And let me tell you why. I don't think a lot of people realize LED headlights. Why do Polos and Golfs and T-Rocks and T-Crosses and that have their headlights stolen?
Because
Yeah.
of
Do people
the
know?
LED.
Because they
LEDs.
cost a frickin' fortune. They're like 70,000 Rand for 2 headlights.
Yeah.
If your LED headlight stops working, you don't go to the local spare shop
And
say,
buy it.
can I have a bulb, please, for my LED Mahindra Cherry whatever? They say, what? You need a whole new headlight.
yeah, it's true.
And these headlights are hellish expensive. So instead of you buying a bulb for
75 bucks
150
or
bucks,
150 bucks. Yeah.
you now have to buy the whole headlight. So what happens if you don't have your car insured, as an example, and you're driving along the road and one of those freaking one of those big trucks with the coal on, and the piece
Yeah.
falls off and goes ding through your headlight, and you have to buy a headlight, you're going to cry. That's why they steal them,
Yeah.
because somebody wants them, because they don't want to spend 30,000 Rand on a headlight. They go and rather buy a stolen one for whatever they sell them for. So if you can get a car without LED headlights, buy it. Don't get the LED headlights, because you can upgrade the bulb in a normal
And a normal headlight,
in a
yeah.
normal headlight to
Yeah.
a much brighter. Most of the good globe manufacturers, people like Philips, Osram, Bosch, make much brighter bulbs for it. Or you could even go and buy yourself these Chinese aftermarket LED upgrade kits. Stick that in. Rather stay away from the cars with the fancy headlights. They're cool, they look great and everything, until you need to buy a headlight. I had a client with an X3. 35,000 Rand, I think it is. Okay, you just put a bulb in here. Yeah, sure, no problem. It's all headlight, 35 grand. Range Rover Evoque,
Oh, they are long.
100,000 Rand for a headlight.
And
Think about
it's
that when you buy a
nothing
car.
to say that the headlight doesn't have to break for it to fail. It can just fail.
I said Evoque, I meant the Velar.
The
Sorry,
Velar,
before
yeah.
somebody sends them out. It's not that
The
expensive.
Velar.
You see how many of the new Defenders driving along the road have a DRL that's out.
I saw one
Yeah.
today on my way here.
There you go.
Actually, I was like, is he indicating or something? Then I remembered, no.
Okay, so
Common
a
as
lot of
work.
them, you know, when they indicate, they go off and they come back on. But this is the problem. All this fancy technology is hellish expensive. And when you've got to put that money into the car, especially if you don't have insurance. And unfortunately, a lot of people here don't drive insurance. Okay, that's my wine for the day.
Is it done now? I was just going to say, can we get back to getting, thank you, a new car?
Yeah.
I mean, Siyabonga, sorry.
Siyabonga.
Like Richard and Dylan pointed out, there's nothing wrong with the Mahindra, eh?
No.
Nothing.
No. Yeah,
I've
it's
spoken to
not.
other journos and they all say,
No, it's a good car.
it's don't worry about the name.
That's good value.
Don't
for
worry
money.
about the name. It's good value for money.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, next. Sean from Potchefstroom has just bought a 2024 VW Polo. He has been offered a 90,000 kilometer 5-year maintenance plan for 24,000 Rand. Is it money well spent or unnecessary given the existing warranty?
So one must have a look and see what that service maintenance plan covers. If it covers everything, does it cover your clutch? Does it cover your brakes? Does it cover the brake discs? Things like that. If that does cover all that kind of stuff, I would say yes, it's good value for money.
Yeah, I agree.
But hold on. It's a 2024 Polo, right? It should already come with its 60,000
It does, yeah, he's
Okay.
saying so. Yeah.
5-year. So it's 2024. It's
It's
got
a
under 2029.
45,000 K
Remember,
3 year.
VW's new stuff, their plans from factory, if you don't upgrade them, actually aren't that strong. You got 45,000 Ks in 3 years on a service plan. That's gone are the days of getting a good 5-year 100 on everything, you know.
Yeah.
So I think 24,000 Rand for a 90,000 kilometer 5-year maintenance plan. I know it's not on top of the original plan. It's as the other one stops, that one takes over.
So basically,
basically
it's
2
2
years.
years or
But it's a
50,000.
maintenance plan, not
Yeah.
just a service
the
plan.
maintenance plan covers
Will cover
all the parts.
Brakes as well, definitely. I think it's worth it, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. The peace of mind is worth it.
Looking at this, I looked at it and thought that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I would get a list from that policy and say
What is covered? Yeah.
Because when they're selling you something,
Everything is
is
covered.
when you claim, nothing is covered.
Yeah.
Now, when
So-
you claim, everything's covered, sir. But we're only going to, on that 500,000 Rand gearbox, we're going to pay 5,000. The rest is for you.
Yeah. So those, Dylan,
I can put it in short words.
yes, do.
I agree with you guys in many cases.
Thank you. Move
But
on.
the statement is maintenance plan hurts you once. Fixing is always hurting you over
Yeah.
and over and over. And as you guys said, read what the contract says and
Yeah.
make sure you understand. But maintenance is the way to
What
go
is
if you
covered?
don't-
Have a look and see exactly what is.
He doesn't
what is
give us the
covered.
mileage on this
But
vehicle
it does
currently.
seem to be a factory
Oh,
extended
20
maintenance plan.
It's 22,000.
22,000 on the clock.
Yeah.
So it's fresh.
So it's fresh, you know.
It's
so
not doing a lot of mileage. And it seems to be a VW maintenance
Warranty,
plan.
Yeah.
Which means it will be an extension of the original. It won't be necessarily an aftermarket.
So I think we're just in agreement here that it's
that you should.
It's
Yeah.
most probably a good option.
Good idea.
24,000 Rand for that kind of thing is not that expensive.
No.
And like you say, it's paid up, it's done for the
And
next
it's a
5 years.
maintenance,
You don't
not
have
a
to spend
service
money on the
plan,
car.
eh?
Yeah.
It's a full-on maintenance,
Maintenance plan.
Yeah.
So that's maybe a good move on.
Welcome back to Buyer's Guide. Let's move on to Derek, who owns a 2016 Hyundai Tucson automatic with 77,000 kilometers on the clock. He's considering an ECU upgrade to boost torque and reduce gearbox hunting on steep climbs. Is this a smart move or a risky experiment? Okay, let's just clarify that ECU, electronic control unit,
Yes, yes.
is the computer for the car.
Brain of the car.
Brain of the car.
He wants
yeah.
to upgrade it with the idea of increasing the output of the motor, hoping the gearbox doesn't hunt as much for gears.
And hunting, I think he's got that wrong. What do you mean?
Yes. Yeah, it's the car's actually, there's nothing wrong with it. That's just kind of
It's when
what
you're
it's
going
supposed
up
to be.
hills
And
then
it keeps changing
you're
down,
in fifth
changing
gear,
up.
it goes down to fourth
You can-
gear,
you
then
can-
fifth gear, then fourth gear, then fifth gear,
Yeah.
up and down, up and down, up
You
and
can
down.
tell very quickly, you know, when he mentions torque, 119 kilowatts and 195 newtons. Yeah, you know, that's very petrol outputs, very
Yeah.
naturally aspirated outputs, if I can put it that way. It's going to hunt. And an ECU upgrade isn't going to give you much. It's not turbocharged. You might get 5 kilowatts. And
What you're
If
going
you're
to
lucky.
do,
if you're lucky.
what you're going to do, the only thing
cost
it's
yourself
going to
money.
give you is a lower bank balance.
Correct.
Yes.
You just give so much money and it won't make any difference.
You can do a Durban upgrade and put a panel filter or something like that in, but
Why
just
do you have to go
63.
there? Why
know,
do you
it's
have to
not-
go there, Richard?
I don't think there's much you can do here, really.
No, not at all.
You've it's and there's nothing wrong with the car. Those are good cars.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, really.
I agree with Richard. I think in this case, he's just calling more problems for himself.
Yeah.
Because he's going to increase the heat strain on the gearbox, and it's just going to call up problems for him. Maybe if he feels like he's having that hunting incline, put it in sport mode or something, or manual mode, and controlling yourself whenever
Yes.
you're getting those surges. Other than that, there's no point in
Yeah,
doing
it's a
what
bit
he's
of an
doing.
irritation, but
Yeah.
it's
Live
probably
with
something
it.
you have to live with. And it's not only Hyundai Tucson's that does it. It's, I mean, if you, a 2-litre CX-5, same story.
Yeah.
All of those kinds of cars that are, like you said, naturally aspirated, non-turbocharged cars don't have that extra power and torque to sort of stop it doing that. So not much you can do about
But all you guys want 10-speed gearboxes and all that. That's the reason. That's the problem. If you just stayed with the old 3-speed gearbox from 1964, automatic, nobody would have it.
It's just a fuel efficiency.
So when you were 18,
Oh my goodness. Okay. Van is shopping for a Bakkie with a budget of 300 to 350,000 Rand. He's weighing up the JAC T8, Cherry 8, which is not a Bakkie, a GWM P Series, and then even a high mileage Ford Ranger. He also wants to know if the Photon is worth a look.
Ooh.
Dylan, what's the Photon like? You driven one?
Yes, I've driven one, and
Because
it
I
surprised
haven't.
me.
I can't comment on it. I haven't driven one.
Surprised me so much. First thing I'm going to talk about is the consumption. I did nearly 1,000 kilometers on one tank, so I enjoyed that.
Diesel.
Petrol.
Petrol version.
Yes, I think.
So it's fuel efficiency.
Fuel
Yeah.
efficiency.
Okay.
Good price for the buck. Just that, the technology and all that in it, they're just
Dated.
trying to they're trying to be modern, but at the same time it's a bit
Basic.
sluggish, yeah. But the car, if you're looking at it as a new car, you're looking for something different, go test drive it, tell us what you think. Compared to his other options, he's confused.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's not going to help
The
us.
Cherry 8.
Are you bringing out a Cherry Tiggo 8 Bakkie?
it won't be called that.
You
that's
are
for
bringing
sure.
out a Bakkie, but it's not
on
going to
its
be called
way.
Tiggo 8. Yeah. But it won't be in
yeah.
his budget.
Yeah, most
Not
definitely.
new.
Yeah.
No, it won't be too far away though.
Yeah.
But I drove the JAC,
Which I also drove, which I thought
which
was
is,
quite
I
good.
thought was an awesome Bakkie.
Yeah.
Its looks, just its looks, but the actual quality of the vehicle, you can see it's Chinese.
Yeah, but I mean, harder plastics for me in a Bakkie aren't a problem.
No,
and I'll
it's
tell you why. Because people use it. You don't want a fantastic leather interior
Or
in a
Contara
Bakkie. Because like,
everywhere.
oh, I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to
No,
dent
no,
it.
I'm talking
whatever.
about the outside,
Yeah.
the handles and the thing.
Yeah.
Because I opened the tailgate and the handle ended up in my hand. So,
You take it back and you fix it under warranty.
yeah,
Violent. In terms of the Photon, as I say, I haven't driven the Photon. Give me your opinion on it. You said it was a
So
reasonable Bakkie.
I drove the manual one.
Mhm.
Took me time to get used to it, the 6-speed and all that. So it is something, it's a decent option. Just as
Yeah.
you're saying with the JAC Jock, if I can call it
Yeah.
that you've driven,
The Jack.
it's those Chinese faults that we can just point out everywhere in there. And also the looks, they tried to mix the Hilux and mix something else, and the flatbed is also a bit small.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, just take this
Very
and take this and mesh it up and take
Yeah.
it out. But
If
look
you're not
into
fussed
it.
by that, I must say, I drove the JSC and I was quite impressed.
I was
thought-
impressed with it.
actually drove nice. How it will last is another story. And is it going to, stay in the country? Because that's a whole new debate, Because just now the Chinese manufacturers are going to start fighting with each other. And they already are. They're going to be gobbling market share from each other. So let's, I quite like a Ranger, but he's going to go for an older Ranger. I would rather buy a brand new
P
Photon
series
or a P series
or a Photon, yeah.
or a JAC. I wouldn't buy a Tiggo 8 though for.
Even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy a new
Because
Ford.
when you put the
Ranger.
sand into the back of the Bakkie, it gets in
you
between
got
the
that bad
seats.
for sure.
Yeah, okay. Being stupid here.
I'd
But
definitely buy a Photon. over a
Photon's
Ranger.
well worth a look at. Our next question is from Paul in Neisner. Now he's 78 and he owns a 2014 Toyota Fortuner with just 130,000 kilometers on it. It's in excellent condition, but he's tempted by the new Chinese SUVs like Bike or Jetour. Would trading in be a mistake, or does
Yes.
it make sense for the next 8 years? So he's just saying, I want a car for the next 8 years. Really, I think, Seggy, what did you say?
I wonder if he's going to live 8 years, next 8 years.
Well, I mean, besides Sorry, he's very rude. He's very rude. We know you're going to live to 110. But to trade in a vehicle that's got low mileage,
And this is
bulletproof,
new.
bulletproof, and you even said in his mail that he doesn't really fussed about technology. Now, jokes aside, you know, a lot of 78-year-olds will be, because I'm 60 odd, and I
Really?
get confused by the technology. You know, how the hell does half the stuff work in there? Because it's all screens and stuff like that. And does he want to? He wants to trade in for like a Chinese SUV. For me, I'd say hell no.
Hell no.
Keep your
Fortuna.
It'll last you another 8 years. It'll do 400,000 Ks, but you said 8 years, and you got a 2014. So in 8 years, it's going to be 200,000 Ks. It's nothing. Rather than waste your money on something else.
Yeah.
But Richards from Cherry is going to say, no, go to one of our dealers and buy a car.
No,
Get
go to one of our
confused by
dealers
the
and buy a car. I honestly back our brand, and I would, but at the exact same time I wouldn't. In his scenario, at his age, keep that Fortuna. It's low mileage. Let's
His
be honest.
grandchildren and his great-grandchildren will be driving
That is
They
low
need it for
mileage.
so when they go fishing at the beach.
For
at
a
night.
D4D, that's nothing.
Yes.
That's absolutely nothing.
130,000 Ks. That's absolutely
He
enough.
might be impressed by the technology and stuff like that you can get.
Confused.
Well, yeah. Initially
Too many colours.
impressed and then
Confused.
further confused.
Yes.
So it is a tough one, as much as I do genuinely have faith in our brand. And it would satisfy him. I think in this scenario he needs to keep the Toyota.
I think, Paul, this is your straight answer. You are your
gonna
question
be
Paul
the,
asked.
No.
the person
Spanner.
who says,
No. There's nothing to fault the car with. Why do you want to go look for problems in another department? Just
Yeah.
keep it.
And that's what I was saying, guys. To answer his question,
yeah.
you would be making a mistake to change cars.
Yes.
Paul, just think about this, okay? When you're driving your Fortuna, and you're going along the road, and you want to turn the radio down, you know, you can just go, huh. You want to put the aircon on, you go, huh. You don't want to have to go, what screen? Hang on, I haven't got my glass. Where is it? Technology, I think you're going to be like, hey, this is cool. And then when you live with the car, you say,
Why did I
hate
get...
it.
Yeah.
Keep the car.
Paul, whatever they give you
your
for that
Fortuna.
Fortuna won't be enough.
Yeah,
Exactly.
correct.
Yeah.
At that mileage, that vehicle, whatever they trade it in for, will not be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so just keep the car. And finally, Cole from Zimbabwe is shopping for his first small car. He loves the Honda Fit, especially the older torque converter automatics, but worries that the lack of parts will become a headache down the line. Now, Cole is from Zimbabwe, right?
Yeah, so when
And-
he's talking about Honda Fit, let me just say here, that is what we know as a Honda Jazz. So in Zimbabwe,
It
where
was the
they
Honda
do
Fit.
not have a manufacturing place where they manufacture cars or whatever, they're bringing it from overseas, the Jazz there is called the Fit, which is the Jazz here. So it's the older Jazz. Let's talk about the older Jazz here. Dylan?
I really do not know much about this. I just had to go do my research. And the things that I've gathered is just, look, the torque converter is more mechanically simpler, more durable in the long term, and prefers for drivers like you when you say you come from and all those things. In terms of parts, look, Honda is one of those trusted brands that are there, and it has a loyal following. So there is aftermarket parts. Just look in the right places. and you will get-
Firstly, gentlemen, when it comes to a Honda, and my mum owns one, I don't think I've had to look for expensive parts like automatic gearboxes and all that for that car for the past 15 years.
I've written here, probably won't need parts
Parts
anyway.
for, yes,
So
yes.
talking about parts, just to get on a Cherry, you've got a massive parts. You built a new one, didn't you?
Yeah, it's in Kempton Park.
Kempton Park. And how many parts do you carry there, roughly? You know, millions.
Millions and millions and millions.
So
yeah.
Honda here have got a parts department. It's at the CEO's house.
someone's
It's a
garage.
single garage.
Yes.
There's 4 boxes.
Yeah.
One's got some oil filters in it.
Yeah,
Some's got some
oil
air
filters,
filters.
air filters.
Oil, yeah.
A set of brake pads
Yeah.
because they don't need parts.
No, they don't.
So they've got a little single garage with a couple of bits and pieces in it. So back to the question here.
Thanks.
So the Honda here came out with an automatic gearbox at one stage. I think it was only for about 4 years. They had an auto. The rest of the time it's CVT. Both gearboxes
How
are
fine.
very reliable if you maintain them. Buy one and change the gearbox oil in it if it's a CVT or if it's an auto. Just do the gearbox oil change every 40,000 kilometers. If you're buying the car, and just make sure you buy the correct oil. They do not give trouble, so it doesn't matter which one you buy. The auto version as opposed to CVT version is most probably a nicer drive. CVTs are a bit whiny, but the CVT is great. It's also
And
still a good.
The oil's not the same for both the gearboxes.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
And it's very simple if you don't know if it's automatic or CVT. Is on the Fitz or the Jazzes, if you open the bonnet and you look down the front by the gearbox, there's a dipstick, and when you pull it out, there's a little tag on it. It'll say CVT or ATF. So ATF stands for automatic transmission fluid. CVT is constant variable transmission. So they take different oils. You just get the correct oil, put it in there, 40,000 Ks, you sorted. And then change it you won't have problems. I've seen those Jazzes in my workshop with 300,000-400,000 kilometers on it. Never had a problem with them. Just as long as you change the gearbox oil.
Your customers don't drive theirs. I've got Jazzes in my workshop over 700,000 kilometers. And what we're doing? Service,
That's it.
brake pads. I hate it when a Honda comes in.
Me too. They're the worst cars for mechanics.
Yeah.
Absolute
Worst cars to work on.
Nothing to upcharge on.
I serviced last
Will
week.
you stop right there, Richard?
We had 11 Hondas in our workshop last week. I made 62 cents.
So much.
That's all I made. 62 cents.
So much money. Wow.
Yeah.
He's
I ripped off
green.
one customer.
I make 25 cents.
You make no money. They're in and out. They're fantastic. All right. That's where we'll leave it for this week's Buyer's Guide. Send us your motoring questions at buyersguide@ignitiontv.co.za and include a photo of yourself and the car.
Dylan, Richard, once again, thank you for joining us. And thanks for all your helpful advice.
Thank you.
Until
Thanks,
next
Rich.
week, drive safely and stay sharp.